friends, welcome back to another video. Yes, I've got a palette knife in my hand just because I can. Today we're going to be making a paper bag sketchbook. So I'm using, let me explain the whole thing first before I tell you about it. I follow a girl called her tag is Cactus Cloud Art. I'll link her channel down below, as well as the video that I'm about to talk about. So she uses Trader Joe paper shopping bags to make this sketchbook. So she upcycles these bags that have already been used. So I started recently getting my shopping delivered from a shop here in Australia called Woolworths. I don't even know what Trader Joe's is. Is it just like a supermarket? Maybe my American friends can tell me. I'm guessing it's like a supermarket. Anyway, so I started collecting all these paper bags from our Woolworths. Our Coles also has it, which is just another supermarket. So what she does is she takes the bags and folds them in half, and they make this perfect page. Our bags are obviously not as big, so when I fold them in half using the base, they don't quite make two neat pages, which bugged me a little bit. I was like, oh, I really want to make this sketchbook, but it's just not working for me. So I'm like, I've got all these bags anyway, they're just going to go in the recycling bin. I might as well just chop them up and see how I go. So I had to play around with cutting the sides out. So essentially we've got a bag with the sides taken out. You can see that. And what I actually thought I'm going to do, so I'm going to leave the base in. So you kind of fold it in half like this, when it's not in half at all. So it's kind of lays flat. You can see that just one side of the bag has folded over, and then the other side actually folds the other way. So this here will be the spine, and as you go through, you can actually flip it out and have a nice big sketchbook page. I love it. I love the idea. So I'm going to show you how I trim the bags down to do that. But then also, you've got these bits, which are the sides. I think I'm going to make them into a sketchbook too. And I've got a couple of ideas for these, and we might make two different sketchbooks with these. I'm going to make a accordion fold one, and then just a regular sketchbook. Because I actually really love drawing and painting on this paper. Like, I don't know what it is about it. It's actually really amazing. And I'm actually going to use, because I actually quite like the look of that too, in my exhibition proposal, I'm going to actually use these paper bags as well to make artworks on. I actually thought it even looks cool that way. And you could do like a whale or something. I don't know. There's lots of options there. Anyway, but for today, we're just doing this. I'm not even worried about running out of bags because I've got another delivery coming tonight. I get my groceries delivered every week. So, yeah. And I started worrying that maybe having my groceries delivered kind of ruins the whole sustainable living type thing. But then I started thinking about it, and it's like carpooling for my groceries. I have an IGA here in town, but it's quite expensive. So you don't do your full shop there, you just do your bits and bobs. So to do a full grocery shop, it's 25 minutes away from me. So my nearest Woolworths or Coles is 25 minutes away. Or Aldi. We have Aldi too. So I do that trip once a week. Well, the guy who delivers groceries out here to my town, he's doing it anyway. I'm just another stop. So I'm like, I'm saving money because I pay a fee for the month. I'm saving, and this is not sponsored, but I'm saving money in fuel, having to drive into town each week. I'm saving time, and oh my god, it's just so much easier. Here I've got a bag. Here's my standard bag. So I want to cut away the sides, and the way that I've been doing it is actually, when I've been sitting in front of the TV, sometimes I use a butter knife. Shh, don't tell anyone. But I'm going to show you today with a palette knife. This is just a metal palette knife. My partner asked me, why don't I use scissors? Because I like the look of the torn edge. It's too hard just to tear it, so I use a like I said, either a butter knife or one of these to run along it. So I'll show you. I kind of lean it up against me. That's why I got to do this standing up. I can't show you down. And I just kind of pop my palette knife in, and I just kind of pull up so it kind of tears where that fold already is. So you don't have to try and refold things. It's easier with a butter knife because it's longer, and so you get longer things, whereas this is quite short. But for the sake of today, I'm doing this. So that's that side, but then to do the other side of that side, I've got to move that like this, and I keep it against my chest again and run it along that fold. Oh, the concentration. So now on this side, I'm going to quickly do it to the other side because it's easier to do all of these bits at once and then do the bottom bit. Got it. Right, so you can see now, and I've got just these two where the sides were. They're just like now two flaps that are just attached by the bottom. And again, I just tear them off with my palette knife. So again, I put it against my body because it kind of braces it, stops it from moving around. You can use like a steak knife, but I find if it's serrated, so it's got the zigzaggy things, that pattern is transferred into the paper. And I'm not a real big fan of it. So there's one side. I'm going to flip it to the other side. Done. So here you have before, a lovely shopping bag made out of paper. I think it's, what is it, 85% already recycled materials. And here's one with no sides. So sides, no sides. And so basically, this is it folded up. When you kind of fold them up, the bottom kind of folds up when they go flat. So that is exactly the position I get it in. So this is the one with no sides. I put that bottom up, but that side that's closest to it comes all the way out. And that little fold that's already there, that's the fold I use to fold it back. The best bet to this is just to have a play around to it. So I'll show you that again because I took a little while to wrap my head around it. So if this is how the bag is when it's flat, you know, when you're at the shop it's usually flat like this and the base is folded up. I leave that folded up and just get the handle, and I just get that first handle and I, oops, if I get the right one, pop it out, and that fold that's already there becomes my fold I fold down. So there's a type of binding I've never done before where you use strips of paper or material or whatever, and you kind of go from one to the next, signatures. I'm not sure, I have to make some decisions. I have to decide whether I'm going to leave this handle on because it goes out further than where the spine is going to be, which I find just a touch annoying. But then do I just shorten it? I don't know. I think I'm going to remove it. I tried removing this whole panel here that's reinforcing the handle being stuck there. And I just found that they obviously use pretty good glue, and it kind of wrecked the paper underneath, kind of ripped it a little bit. So I thought I might just literally just cut it off, maybe. But then do I leave the one on the other side? I think I'm going to leave the ones on the other side until I've finished doing the book. So I've currently got 11 bags, but I'm thinking about doing a few more. I think I'm going to do a few more of the bags, and I'll speed this up. I'll put some lovely music on for you. I've got my bags all prepped. So basically my pages and signatures are ready to roll. And I'm actually going to prep the strips of paper. Okay, so here is one of those sides of the bags that I just painted with some fluorescent paint, yellow and pink. Actually, the yellow is not fluorescent. I think it's just a lemon yellow, but it's fluorescent pink that I've mixed with it. So I'm gonna cut this up to make small strips for my binding. I actually need to probably rewatch a video on how to do it. So I'm gonna have to do that after I cut up all of the strips. Yeah, so you can watch me. I'm gonna cut it in half, and then I'm gonna cut like roughly about 1 centimeter or so. So they're gonna be quite thin strips. I'm gonna need to make some more because I need, for each 2 pages I'm putting together, or signatures, I need 7 strips. So for each 2. So for me, that means I need 49 strips. I've only made about 40 there. So I'm thinking about maybe adding in some of this tape, this gold glitter tape that I've got, that I used on my packaging when I'm packaging up orders and stuff. So I thought, I'm just to extend it out, I'm going to use that. I'm just going to cut a few strips and I'm just going to scatter that in amongst it. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I need to cut at least 10, so that's 2. I've decided each page is gonna have at least 1 of these strips, so I need 4 more. Actually, I'm just gonna cut up the rest of this tape because I'm trying to use it up. I got like a couple of rolls. I used to be a Kazaz consultant, and to make up my sales, I'd often buy stuff for myself, and that was years ago, and I'm still trying to get through it all. So I need to decide before I start the binding what I'm going to do for the cover, because the cover is bound in the same way. So what I'm actually thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to use, I've got quite a few cardboard boxes out round and about. I'm going to use cardboard box to, yeah, cover it basically, and then I can just paint it or stick something over the top of it, I think is what I'm going to do. Okay, gonna get that. So I just cut a piece of cardboard. You can see it's literally from a box. I think I'm gonna use that bit on the outside because I thought I might actually just cover that with, I might just cover that with fabric down the track kind of thing to cover it up, which I think will cover it. I literally didn't use a ruler at all. I just traced around one of my pages and then cut it with a knife. So it's not precise, it's pretty wonky. I'm gonna use it as a template to cut another one, and then I think we can start binding. I've got everything ready to go. I've got these are the shelves that live behind me. the box. I've kept the boxes because I always thought I might want to do something with them, so I did. Mice have chewed quite a bit of them, but anyway, I've got the front and the back covers here. I've got all my strips ready to go. I actually think no, so I think because I've now added the front and back covers, I've only got enough of the gold strips for 1 per sheet. What we need to do is, for our front cover, we're going to apply 4 of these strips. Now, like I said, I'm going to use one of these gold ones for every sheet, every one. So I'm only literally, I'm going to peel that back about halfway. It's not going to be my top one. I'm going to make it one of my middle ones. I'm going to apply that there. Okay, so you can see it's only half on this one and half off. So I'm going to use my other strips. They are going to be different lengths. Does that worry me? Nah, that doesn't worry me. If it worries you, you can trim them so they're all the same length. Entirely up to you. I'm only going to use a glue stick because I think that will do the trick. So again, I'm just going to apply glue to half of it. And that one's going to be my top one. Put that there. Going to get another one. I'm going to use a yellower one for the other middle one. So this is my front cover. You might like to use double-sided tape because at least you don't have to wait for things to dry. Like, these can come off quite easily. So what I'm actually going to do with my front cover, I'm going to flip it and put it over here. There. And I'm going to get my first bag. Now, making sure that I've got, before I attach it here, I'm going to now place, so you can see I've kind of got them roughly lined up. I'm now going to put 3, in the same way I did the cover, I'm going to put 3 on this bag, but they have to go in between the 4 that I've already got. So if I kind of roughly line it up with little thin strips like this, it's a lot easier. I'm going to do my gold strip first. Yeah, with thin strips it's a lot easier. If these were really thick, you'd have to be super precise, whereas this is just, you know, roughly in the middle. So you can see here, oh, it's not even lined up properly. I'm just going to put that one there. Again, I'm not attaching anything. I'm not connecting anything yet. So I'm going to get my couple of, probably shouldn't have done that there. Whoops. And I want a yellower one, although I don't have heaps of real yellow ones. And I'm going to put that one there. Okay, so you can see there, I've got 4 in my first, 3 in my second, and they are in the middle. So I'm actually going to flip this over and lay it on top of my cover. I'm going to bring it back over a little bit to show you this next bit. Now, I've got a heap of tabs here now. I want to attach just the tabs that are on the cover. I'm going to fold them over this first page. Okay, so by the way, Woolworths is not sponsoring any of this whatsoever. So just the ones from the front cover, so the top one, this one here, so every second one. And I know it's 4, so it's the 2 top and bottom ones, and then the in-between ones. All right, so I'm actually not going to apply the gold one first because it's quite short and I don't want too much pressure on it. So I'm just going to put some glue on that. I didn't do that very well. Make sure your covers are lined up because kind of once they're on, that's it. I'm not too worried about imperfections. I'm going to fold it over there like that. See that one? Then I'll do my gold from the front cover. So I skipped that one because that one's attached to that already. Fold that one there. I'm going to go to the next one. Apply my glue. Fold it over. You want to apply glue better than what I am at the moment. I'm not doing a great job there, but anyway, still a bit better here. There we go. So the only 3 I haven't folded over are the 3 that are attached to this first piece of paper. So those 4 from the cover have now been folded over to that first page. And again, I'm going to move it to the side and I'm going to get my next page. Anyway, so this one, again, we're going to attach, I'm going to go my gold first, and we're going to apply 4 this time, 4 on this one. In between these 3 bits that are hanging out, okay? So I'm going to go my gold one at the top because I haven't done a gold one at the top yet. If I can remove the backing tape. So again, I don't need to worry about the ones I've folded over now, as long as they are in between the 3 that are still currently sticking out. So, you know, it's pretty forgiving, this strategy, this technique. So I'm going to put that one there. This one here, and then another one at the bottom. You can kind of put them in the same spot. You can purposely make it so that these ones don't line up with these ones, which is, I really wasn't even paying attention to that at all. So again, we're going to flip this one over. And the ones this time that we're going to attach are just the 3 that were sticking out here. So those are the 3 we're going to stick out. So not the one at the top, it's going to be the second one. So again, make sure my paper's lined up. Get my glue stick. Oh, goodness, that's folded over. There we go. I'm going to fold that one over. Miss one because that one's that one. And we're going to go do the next one. And then the bottom one is my gold piece. Oh, that one's folded over. I was going to say, no, it shouldn't be the bottom one. My bottom one was folded over. My bad. So fold that one over. Alright, I'm going to put that to the side. Get my next. Now I've got to decide. So when I have it like this is what the open page is going to look like. So I've got to, I can decide now whether do I want 2 flappy bits out? Or do I not? So I'm actually going to change it so that I have 2 flappy bits. So, and I just kind of do it the other way around. Like that. Which means now that I have the handle on the wrong side. Which is fine, because I'm just going to cut them off. That completely confused you. I just want so that when I'm open my sketchbook, this one, I can make this a uber long, a massively long one. All right, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, so I need to apply 3 to this side now. So I'm going to go my gold first because I want to kind of mix up where that is. I'm going to put my gold in the middle. So this time, you're alternating. If you're doing a smaller one, you only probably want 3 and then 2, but I'm doing, because it's bigger, I'm doing 4 and then 3. So because I've got 4 here, I'm only going to apply 3 on this side. So just remember, 4 then 3, 4 then 3. Well, that's too high. It says where lining it up's good, because I had that way too high. That would have, and you need to make sure they're not going to touch the ones that haven't already been folded. So this one here and this one here needs to not be in the same spot. Future Courtney here. I'm sorry I couldn't explain what I was doing with this is the concertina journal. My next door neighbour's working on his car and he was revving it and all sorts of things, and it's right next to my shed. And you can see I've pointing out there that I'm using the sides of the bags. So I was kind of folding over that bottom bit. See the bottom bit there with the triangle? I was folding it over and gluing it onto the end of the next one. And that's how I was attaching them to make the concertina. So yeah, I was just folding over that end bit, gluing it on with a glue stick. I'm not overly worried about this. This is not a sketchbook I'm selling. This is for myself. So the glue stick glues very well good enough. You're not here for an English lesson. So yeah, line her up and then fold it over, glue it down, and just keep repeating it, alternating the sides, so that triangle bit at the end on the right hand side there, I'll get another piece and that will then fold over. As you can see, I'm kind of like pointing to things, thinking, oh yeah, I'll explain this. Anyway, I'll speed up this next bit and I'll have a chat to you when I get to the cover. Okay, here we go with the folder at 600 times 600%. Not 600 times, 600%. So this backing board I use for when I'm packaging my orders and artworks on paper and prints and things like that. And I got it from an eco store here in Australia. It's an online store. And they basically are recycled cardboard backing boards. So I tend to use them quite a bit when I want quite a stiff cover for a sketchbook. I think they're really good. They're easy to cut. I recycle every last bit of it. So those bits that I've cut off, if I can't find a sketchbook that I want to make out of them, then I'll literally break them down, soak them in water and turn them into paper or some clay, my own paper clay paper clay, just paper clay, that's it, yep. So I'm getting this is just some fabric I had in my shed. Unfortunately, I didn't cut the fabric. I cut them a little bit too small, so the overhanging edge for me to fold over and glue down was just a little bit too small. Now my hands are dirty, not from like gardening and stuff. I was doing a bit of a painting beforehand, so I've got like paint and stuff all over my hands, and so when I'm doing the gluing, you will sometimes see that some of the paint comes off my hands and onto the sketchbook, but again, I'm not too worried. You can see a little bit on that corner when I move my hand off. Yeah, so because those little flaps for me to fold over are quite small, I had to kind of hold my hand there until they stuck well. You can see I'm having a lot of issues with that. Yeah, so I just kind of plod along and cover this up. So what you'll see me do in a second is I actually glue the first page of the concertina down to the cover. I just pop some glue on that very first page. Here we go, here it is. And then line it up with that front cover. And I do the same with the back cover once it's done as well. And that's how I attach them. And they're actually really secure. They've turned out really well, I think. It's a bit wonky, but I don't mind it. some decisions with my other smaller sketchbook using the sides. I actually have torn out a couple of the bottoms of the bags to use as my covers. So I'm actually going to fold them over in half so that, and glue that so it's a bit more sturdy. Excuse the ink and stuff. I've been doing lots of art today. To make them the covers so they're a bit more sturdy. So I'll glue them together, and then I'm actually going to go signatures, 5 signatures, because I think I've got 20 of these here. I think I counted 20. So it'll be 4 sheets in each signature, and I'm going to use a 2 needle Coptic binding with this. I got this. So this is waxed Brazilian thread, and I thought I'd try it to see if I like it, because it's quite inexpensive, and I thought it might be a good option for bookbinding, especially because I make so many of my own sketchbooks and things like this. So yeah, so I'm going to make signatures of 4, so it's going to be just have 2 holes. Yeah, I'm just going to get cracking. Okay, I can't believe it. They're rough. My 3 sketchbooks are rough, but I seriously flippin' love them. Let's have a look at the 3 sketchbooks I made out of, I think about, well, this one has 14 pages, so it's got to be about at least 14 to 15 bags, which was only like 2 shops for me. So here's the first one, and I'm eventually going to either paint over or cover this with some pretty fabric. This is just a box from the shelving that is literally just behind me that I cut. I didn't even use a ruler to cut it. It was rough, but I don't care. The bit I love about this the most is the binding, and I love how, see how it's stretchy? It's almost like a honeycomb. Ooh. I do have these handles, but I'm gonna need better glue than my old glue stick because it just didn't quite cut it, unless I stand there and hold it, or I get clips maybe. So I don't know, might see. I've got some better glue floating about. I might grab that to glue them on, just the front cover and the back cover, just so they've also got handles on them. Yeah, so, and what I love about it is, so here on this first page, you can open the page like this, which is very cool. Yeah, so some of the pages I changed the direction I attached the pages to. So this one here, I can actually open this way and this way. So I could actually do a potentially really super long drawing on it. Yeah, so that's really cool. Yeah, and I did that a few times through, not every time. That's another one there, but not every time I did that. I kind of alternated a little bit. So there's one where it's just one side, because sometimes I think I'm just only going to use that sheet, or I might do something there. You know, I could do whatever I want with it really. I'm now realizing that using a box like this on the front cover and the back cover, because it's the same box but it's just white on the back cover, and it's actually on the inside. Actually, it doesn't matter so much because on the inside it hasn't got any tabs attached. But I'm realizing now, just flipping through with you, one of the tabs has come off because it's not stuck very well. So I think if I cover this with fabric and put glue over the top of them, it'll help secure them, those tabs down a lot, because the fabric will be stuck and be wrapped around, so it won't be able to come up. Yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame that the other two haven't come off, and that one I reinforced with glue already. So maybe if I just re-glue that down, it might be right. Maybe. So that's the big one. So then I made 2 bags out of the sides of the bags. Okay. I was a little bit over it by this point. So I kind of was just slapping it together. So this is the accordion one. I used just some fabric I had already in my, see down here, there's a heap of fabric here. So I just found this star fabric to put around some chipboard. It is recycled chipboard as well, so it was already made out of recycled materials, which I really like, and I look for that. And I just attached the first page of the accordion to that cover, and now I've got this long accordion sketchbook. So I'm not even, this is my first ever accordion sketchbook that I've even owned or made or anything, and I just dropped it. So I have no idea what I'm gonna do, whether I'm gonna treat them as pages or whether I do one continuous long drawing of like a heap of different animals. I don't know. If you've got some ideas of what I can do in that, let me know in the comments, because I'd love some of your ideas. Or if you've got some links to some other YouTube videos I can watch of people filling accordion sketchbooks. Okay, so that was really just it was an experiment on all different levels, making an accordion sketchbook and making it out of bits of bag. The other one, I should have, this one is my little one. It's got the Coptic to thread stitching. I should have put a harder cover on it, because as I pulled the thread, it curved the cover, and you can see it's, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't sit as well as I'd like it to. And my back was hurting when I was making this, so I was trying to do it really quick and I was making mistakes and stuff. I am going to link though down below the sea lemon tutorial I use every time I do this, because I can never remember how to start it. So I'm going to link her video down below for you to check it out. This was not a tutorial for it. You could watch me do it, but really dodgily. It was so dodgy, so I'll probably even sped it up. I love all three of my sketchbooks. I was going to draw in each of them in this video, but I think this video is already going to be really long because I've made 3 different types of sketchbooks with 3 different binding methods. Wow, I didn't even realize that. 3 junk sketchbooks with 3 different binding. 3 different ways. I love it. So I will do a video doing some sketches and stuff, but if you follow me over on Instagram, I will be posting, or if you subscribe, like and subscribe this, I will be posting shorts of some of the artworks I do in these as well. So thank you so much for joining me. I love my sketchbooks. They're rough and ready, just a bit like me, a bit like my studio as well. I hope you guys make some journals out of recycled stuff. I love junk journals. My first ever sketchbook I filled up was a junk journal. I think it's really cool, and I've got altered sketchbooks and all sorts of things happening now, so I love it. I love it all. I love these 3 sketchbooks. I can't wait to actually use them. Thanks for watching.